another episode of Hater Debate. WNBA All-Star Weekend has just passed. The only thing I heard was pay us what you owe us. Stick around.
Here to bring you the facts, data, and statistics up close and personal. Letting you decide if it truly is hate or debate.
Pulls off three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Wins the game at the buzzer! Oh my God! They know that! Are you kidding me?
What is good? I am Pete the Geek. I am here with Mozzie Ice, TT, the First Lady of Hated Debate, and in here
Yes,
with
sir.
my big bro Jeffrey. Jeff Black in the building, man. Glad to have all y'all here, man. How y'all feeling, man?
Oh, we in here.
It's good. Feel good. Now that we're calm.
Right. Now, for other people, this is a heated topic. But for us, sane thinkers, level-headed thinkers, we're going to have a great debate about what is transpired this weekend. But before we go into all of that, with the All-Star Weekend being in what it was, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to, because it was Team Collier versus Team Clark. Shout out to Team Collier for winning it. Shout out to Naphesia Collier, 36 points, an all-time high in the WNBA All-Star game. 9 boards to go with that. It was a dope game in different aspects. I saw a lot of things that, it was up and down for me, but I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping at all. They had the skills challenge. Shout out to, Natasha Cloud for winning that. They had the 3-point challenge. Shout out to Sabrina Ionescu for that right there. Multiple 3-point championships will shoot out
30
under her
piece.
belt. You know what I'm
A
talking
30
about?
piece.
Out here. You don't even see that from the NBA a lot of the time.
For the second time.
You know what I'm saying? Multiple times out here running it up like that. The dunk contest, shout out to Brittany Grant. No, let me stop playing. Let me stop playing. There was no dunk contest, unfortunately. I want to boost them up because I've seen some high school players that are dunking right now that are on their way to the WNBA. And as they have been on this rise the last 5 years, like we were talking about, T, and like we know we've been talking about the last 2 years, to be exact, on the show for what they've been doing. Well, not 2 years, but 2 seasons. So now we're going to get into this pay us or play us. And T, before any of us men talk, I'm going to let you set the tone, and I'm going to let Jeff come in right behind you with his. Go ahead and give us what you got, T. Give us all the hate, all the rundown, all that you went through on this. And you don't have to have a minute for this right here, because I want you to go ahead and get the meat and potatoes and set this thing up right.
First and foremost, hello, fellas. How y'all doing? Hope all y'all had a good day today.
What's up?
JLE, good to see you too, bro.
Good to see you, bro.
As you know, the First Lady of Hate Debating, as a female who loves sports, enjoys sports, nickname is Junior for a reason. This has been an interesting past couple of days for me when it comes to discussing women's basketball. I don't think I've ever been mansplained to more about a situation than I have about this particular subject.
Tell all of the viewers what that mansplain means before you go into it, so they'll understand everything that you're talking about. Because we know, but let them know what you mean by that.
When I say mansplaining, I have been told by various people and a couple of the fellows on here who are my friends that have seen the comments and can verify that these things were said to me. I actually had a person tell me that I should be thankful that I'm a woman and that there's a league and that we have the opportunity to play, and then we should play for free because there's no real want and need for the game. That I don't understand finance. in regards to the 400 million, the 400 million that the NBA put into the league. I've been told that as a woman, I am too emotional to understand the nuances of the game of basketball itself.
All heartbreaking things from people that don't know that you're on a sports talk show. You know your things that you're talking about. It's not opinion based when you're on here speaking. You always do what we always do, is backed by facts, data, and statistics. So y'all that don't
Exactly.
know what mansplain means, that's what it means. Go ahead, T, get your take in on it.
So, yeah. So, if I sound a little, if my voice wavers a little bit, I do apologize because it took me a while to calm down. The fellas helped me out backstage.
That's right.
I understand the nuances of all of it. I understand, the finance behind it, the 400 million. I understand the need to be paid and the desire to be paid for your talent and for your skill. I understand all of that. And I think a lot of it for some of the players, maybe not all, is you have some of these players who look at, the NBA draft when you had 4 players come out of Duke first year, multi-million dollar deals and stuff. And then you have a lot of these women who are college graduates, with degrees that they could actually make money off of. And, the pay discrepancies. I understand that. I think a lot of the issue with them also, if you look at the collective the CBA agreement that they're arguing about also, is in some aspects they want to block the other avenues that they have been able to put together, such as what Nafisha Collier and Breanna Stewart put together when they put together Unrivaled. I think that was a great asset to the women's game itself, and a great sidebar to kind of.
And you put me onto that because I didn't even know before when it was on, and I started watching it from when you put me on. Go ahead, T. I'm sorry.
Yeah, moved into the league. It showed it was a full court 3-on-3, and able to show each player their ISO game because they had to really up their game in ways to show that they could play defense, offense, read. Everybody had to play every position in a sense.
And I think it's safer when they playing like that because you don't have as many bodies on the court, so it's
on the floor
less liable for you to get hurt. When you playing
Correct.
5-on-5, the lanes clogged, the perimeters shut down. You got to work harder to get
exactly.
it. So I can understand that. Go ahead.
So and when you want to block avenues such as Unrivaled, or even them being able to do the big 3, or even being able to go overseas. Then you run into how these women are trying to pay for their families. Mm-hmm. Yes, the NBA has put money and has put money into the league, and you have a lot of the leagues have I think it wanted to be a big brother, big sister, little sister type of when it started out. The problem is we don't necessarily have the right people in position in the corporate arena and the higher up arena, and maybe even in the player association space, to really have the conversations that are necessary to figure out how to not force the revenue, but take the momentum that we have.
Take the reins and run with it, like how you said they came up with that other league, but remember like how Ice Cube made his Big 3 league,
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna need help and everything with it, but at the same time, you gotta find the avenue. And the reason I said that is having Cube, or they need that female Cube there, because that person is gonna understand what these women want. They're gonna understand how to market them. They're gonna understand the boundaries, what you're talking about, cutting all these other things off. And the only pushback I have off of what you said so far is they have to pay for their families. All of them make more money than I make. 2 or 3 times.
Pete, I actually have a comment. I also have a comment about that, but I'm wait till T gets done.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Look,
okay,
they
go
make
ahead,
more money than all of us do. But then when you look at the pie, when it, like I said, what they could probably be making with their degrees and what they're making now, it's a weight of the issue. But like after really delving into, like I said, I understand. I understand the finance investors' loss and profits. I understand that we got to find a way to get the profits up. We got to find a way to do things. I think the Stud Buds 72-hour live stream did a lot for the players themselves as far as showing them as human and as marketable. So there's ways to build off of that. But one of the things, like I said, that I had to come to terms with and really realize is at the end of the day, when you think about it, this wasn't supposed to last as long as it did, but since it has, now we gotta find a way. When I say we, I mean we as women who love the game, who enjoy the game, play the game, been around the game. We gotta find a way to figure out how to bring the game. Let's get it back. Let's get back into that inner lane, that lane 4 of track, so we can come around this curve and hit that straightaway. If you catch if you get what I mean, we gotta do it, and yeah, we gotta figure out a way. And is it making it more accessible than having to buy WNBA League Pass? Is it with the changes to the media agreement, that's going to let it to be where it's not just on 1 or 2 channels, bringing more eyes to it. I don't know how. I like the suggestion one of y'all gave. I think it was you, Pete, or somebody gave when we was talking backstage. Let's do the same NBA season like we used to do in high school, where the girls play before the boys do. Everybody get you get 2 games for one. Everybody make money, because guess what? At the end of the day, the entire school or the entire unit gonna make money, because everybody gonna be spending their money at concessions, whatnot. There's ways to do it, but I think it's got the conversation has to be had. The good thing about everything that came out is the shirts, the chants, whatever. It brought the conversation. So now that the conversation has started, let's keep the conversation going, because eventually the right questions will be asked so that we can get an answer, or at least a plan of action.
So keep going and see that what they were saying, the plans and the talks that they had, it was they didn't want to give up any of the revenue shares and everything like that. And
because they only get 9%.
And the thing that I can say about that, and I could be wrong, like I said, but the only thing I say about that is the WNBA is on when there's no NBA, there's no NFL. They got the wide open time to do it. But like I said, T, women outnumber men on this planet.
It's true, but it's only on Ion TV.
No, I know it. But see, you know how many women support Oprah, and she's got her own network? She will take this conversation and put that on her show. But she won't put the WNBA players on her network, so every game is advertised. What's really shown on her show? I mean, on her network.
That's true.
See, that's also things that can help out with the WNBA, as well as like what I said. Instead of having it in the off season, I know they did that so they can capitalize on the ratings. But if it didn't work, put it on when the NBA is going on, but put it on before all the NBA games, put it on then. Try that and see how it works. We've done this right here, and we're here where it is. And where we are with it is the WNBA players aren't happy with the money that they're not getting from producing and doing what they're doing in a growing league. And the difference in the NBA and the WNBA, when the NBA was a growing league, they didn't have social media. They had pre-recorded games. You had Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and them out there with cloth shoes with hard bottoms. If you ever played ball in some Chuck Taylors, you know you'll never do that again.
You a bad man.
Hey, no.
You a bad man. You a bad man. You hooping in them things.
I'm telling you, I tried. I pulled something in my leg.
No ankle support.
I tried it. I had some low top chucks, and I pulled something. It crippled me for a couple of months. I'm
surprised Mugs still have Achilles after wearing them shits, bro.
You know,
I
really no support.
I did it one time, and I said never again.
Right. So
Them
I
things
mean,
terrible to walk in.
your points are very valid. I mean, valid. And you heard the pushback on the ones that I had on them, and that's not much pushback to say that I'm against them, and I'm not against them. I got a daughter that wants to play basketball. She plays,
And
and
I
I'm
think
there.
that was the part that got me when it came to the mansplaining and different things about it. And when people was coming at me, because people who were coming at me with some of these comments and whatnot are people who had daughters. And I'm so thankful that I grew up in a family like my cousin is Harold Jameson, who played ball at Clemson and played for the Miami Heat.
Let's go.
I am one to that group of family that allowed me to not only enjoy the sport, love the sport, but embrace the sport to teach me. And even when I stopped playing, help me to understand, keep my love of the game so that I can, do what I'm doing right now, chop it up with the fellas,
Right.
and it's that I think that was one of the hard things for me to get through with these last couple of days, because it was just like it almost made it seem as if what they were trying to invalidate the issue. And it's not a
They're not trying to invalidate the issue, T. They're trying to invalidate you because
Yeah.
you know what you know. That's why when everybody was saying what they were saying, I was just like, come on the show. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to hate on your opinion. Opinions are opinions. But when we're talking facts, that's all I want to talk. And
Yeah.
you
So
always
the
talk
thing is,
what
some
the
of them didn't
real
have
is. Right,
Some of them didn't have facts.
And a lot of the facts that a lot of them don't have is they don't watch or support. You
Yeah.
got a lot of moms that watch the NBA because their sons play. If your sons play, you're used to playing or watching basketball, period. Why aren't you supporting the WNBA? Your son is.
It starts there.
It definitely does.
It
Can I,
starts with the
can I
female.
say, can I say something?
It starts with the female.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jaylee. I was just about to say, go ahead and get you a little segment in.
Okay, so on what you all were saying about, moms who watch the NBA because their sons play basketball. I think the same should be said about those same moms and dads whose girls play basketball.
Mine did.
Because I looked up a statistic today before I came on the show. There are between 132 and 144 women who currently play in the WNBA. There are 450 men who play in the NBA.
I said that earlier.
If you take the total amount of every player's salary in the WNBA, it adds up to a little under $17 million. Do you all know that there are 39 NBA players who make $100+ million guaranteed in their entire contract?
That's only because you're in a league that makes 100 billion versus a league that makes 200 million.
So now here's a suggestion that I would have. If I was a player, now this may just be me.
Let's go.
If I was a player, if I had a contract worth that much money, and now the NBA and WNBA, they're supposed to be like a brother and sister league.
Yep.
If we could get one of those 39 players, every one of those 39 players, if they would be willing to donate just $1 million of their individual contract salary to the WNBA for the purpose of their contracts, that would double, just those 39 players would double the total amount of every WNBA player's contract combined.
I can't even give my brother give me $5. You want them to give up $1 million?
Look, that is the truth. But guess what? You're giving up what you worked for in a league that took the same flack and came from the same background of what you're going through right now to make them feel more comfortable about playing in a league that isn't there yet. It's on the way up. It definitely is on the way up, but it's not there yet. But you're asking somebody that's making this from making it. What is the most exciting thing you could see in the NBA or in a basketball game, period?
A dunk.
A dunk.
Have we seen 50 in the WNBA yet?
No.
No.
This is no disrespect to the women, because I'm only saying these things because I have to push back on these for the people that are just trying to argue. Man, these men is doing this. No, it's exciting moments in the game. You only want to see a 3-pointer when it's to be a game winner, when it's
Or
to
at the-
go into
or a shot clock.
overtime or shot clock, right? And now that's why the NBA ratings are going down, because of how Steph Curry ruined the league. And this is what we were talking about when we were talking about the Steph Curry being better than the best point guard, or saying he was better than Magic Johnson, which is complete crap.
What crap?
That's asinine.
You got a
Now,
whole
best
starting
shooter?
five.
Maybe.
Look, you got a whole starting five that is Hall of Famers because of Magic Johnson. You got a whole
God.
starting five that aren't proven to be Hall of Famers because they played with Steph.
But also,
It's a
you got to
difference.
think about it. They don't have hand check anymore either.
Right.
Because if they was putting hands on Steph, Steph wouldn't be getting that.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
You take them back to basketball.
Like
When Mo
Rutgers
could put their
League
hands on
Yeah.
you, man. Steph would have stayed hurt.
Right. And remember, that's how he was the first few years of his career. Ankle rolls and all of that stuff
Exactly.
right there. Till he got his balance coach and everything. And I
And
love
workload
Steph.
management. What is
You
that?
know, and that
What is
ruined the
that?
game with old boy that turned his back on San Antonio. He should have never left San Antonio no more
Kawhi Leonard.
than Lillard should have left Portland.
Whoa,
Now you're
whoa,
going back.
Hold on.
Hey,
I
shout
do not
out to Portland though. Shout out to
Hold on.
Portland for getting
I
that.
don't think that I don't think Lillard should have ever left Portland. Period.
Hold on.
I don't
As
think
a
And I don't
Spurs
think
fan,
and I don't think Kawhi Leonard should have ever left.
hold on. As a Spurs fan,
Mm-hmm.
I don't fault Kawhi because Tony Parker came running his mouth
Mm-hmm.
and come on. I had a serious. First of all, Tony, stop it.
So we got to blame him for that.
You got to blame Tony for that. Running
We
his
got to
mouth
blame him for that. Yeah.
because Kawhi was content on staying, getting healthy.
Yep.
That man even came back during the playoffs and he went out on a dirty shot.
And he was thriving in that system.
He was killing, and then went to Toronto and killed.
Yep.
Then he decided he wanted to go to LA.
Jeff, go ahead and get yours in, man. Jeff, go ahead and get
Hold on,
yours
before you
in,
do
man.
that, this might be a hot take. I think what's the dude that came out of Wake Forest? I think he was better than Tony Parker, but that's my 2 cents.
Tim Duncan.
Thank you. Yeah,
Mr.
there you
Fundamentals, that's my
He
dog.
was definitely on the Playboy
yeah.
magazine. I had that one right there. I definitely did. My mom used to
Oh,
get
man.
Sports Illustrated.
Him and
give
the
me
Admiral.
all of the ones when they was the swimsuit issues and all of that stuff. But yeah, they was doing their thing. But yeah, go
Okay,
ahead, Jeff.
so that's my point.
Let
Sorry.
me get your take
Yeah.
on this right here.
It's Josh, bro. I know you used to call me HD, so my real name, we mess people up all the time anyway. But first of all, you already know.
Niner game. We out here. We 3 deep.
Yes,
We 3
sir.
deep.
Yeah, first of all. But what I want to say is, for me, I look at it like the reality is on the money side, the WNBA isn't making a profit per se, but it's not like they're going bankrupt and can't function. They're not making a profit because the money that they are making, they're investing, they're doing stuff in it, and through taxes and how people move numbers, it's a loss. But the thing is, with them taking in that new agreement, one is going to get way more exposure, so the women, like y'all mentioned, that don't watch will be able to watch because it'll be more accessible. Because we know it's really not been that accessible until maybe like the last 3 or 4 years, and that's still been hard.
That's true.
Even if you look at from the time that Asia came in the league and she really started taking over, the ratings and the views have been going up literally each year before the whole Caitlin Clark Reese effect even happened to it. So it was happening. The more exposure, the more people were finding players that they could attach to, especially with the women's college game beating up the way it did. I think it was really that, to me, really helped the WNBA out more than anything. But money-wise, if you're bringing in a few more billion in the next 10 years, you were getting 60 million last year or last couple of years. Now you're getting 200 million. You have to bump up that percentage of share on that. Like that's only fair. Like because it's a natural order of business. You make 60, you got 140 million more a year, and there's no more percentage share of that. Like I just think it should be because some girls are balling. They've been putting on enough to where people really are tuning in. So they honestly just deserve a better share of that on the business side of it. But this is something that they really been planning on doing almost a year or so ago. If you see Reese, she had mentioned it maybe about 2-3 months ago, or some people was getting upset, but they had already had a few interviews where they were mentioning the CBA coming up and them wanting a better profit share because some of the players coming in after them were going to be making way more than them longer because of how things are going to be playing out. So to them, they already wanted a different percentage share. But when you talk about you picking up 4 or 5 more networks that's going to have the games playing, like players got shoes coming out and selling out and having stores packed, like you can't deny that the players are bringing people in and they deserve a piece of that pie.
And I'll agree with you on that. And see, this is why our back and forth went so far on Facebook today, because when we're actually speaking, we can hear each other's points rather than texting at work and everything, trying to make things work out. That makes way more sense. And that's understandable. That's agreeable. They deserve that money right there. And what everybody else is pushing back off of is the ratings. That's the only argument that a lot of people had, and the only argument that I presented was a lot of the money that the NBA has is their ratings. Your homies and their homies watch games together. I've never seen a group of women say we about to watch the WNBA playoffs.
I've never heard anybody say when the WNBA coming back on.
No, look, I haven't even heard 10 women talk about All-Star Weekend. And look, and on the joking side of it, I'm gonna make light of this. You know how the NBA has baller alert for when the NBA players are in town, and all the women can go to the clubs where they're at. They ain't even got that for the women's yet, because I'm trying to find me a rich, fine WNBA player. These are names. I know you would.
That part.
You is mine. You is mine.
You gotta find the one like that.
I don't got time for Scholar no more. Scholar is old. She washed out. DJ.
You gotta get the one that like what you
don't do Scholar like that.
Shout out to Scholar. She got the only triple double.
Better believe it. You saw how she cussed old girl out. Give me the rebound. What you doing?
Look.
Whoa.
Look.
See, and that's what we missing.
Though.
We missing that. We missing the shade that they throwing on other players. Like if you trying to show that you are unified, why are you throwing shade? Kelsey Plum.
Oh yeah,
Kelsey, I heard about that.
You see what I'm saying? Like I ain't trying to be a tattletale, but none of them was there. Why did you have to mention it? But y'all trying to show unity. But you got disarray in the back.
You can't show unity by saying stuff like that.
Exactly.
That breaks the whole
and Kelsey Plum is
you gotta imagine, a lot of the players weren't invited. So a lot of the other people, the 40 plus that was there, got there from word of a teammate, hearsay or whatever. However they got the information, they got it and they showed up. Who's holding accountable?
All of them was on the same team.
No,
she said nobody on Cleveland team came. They didn't tell them people that.
Not just the team. I'm talking about the league as a whole, because nobody else on any other team that their teammates didn't show up didn't say that right there, and I don't think that's fair. And
no,
I understand where you're coming from with that.
Kelsey should have been fined for that, really.
But you see what I'm saying? You can't throw shade and talk about unity. That's crazy. That's you contradicting yourself.
And I think the other issue, like I know with some of the players, because I watched Courtney and I was actually watching Leticia Meher when she was talking about this on the podcast that Olivia who played for the Gamecocks has. She was talking about what they were, the CBA and how there was talks and stuff. the other thing that baffles me is, okay, well, if there's no money there, and there's an issue with the money, why are we expanding for 3 teams if you're still claiming we're struggling for money and we're struggling with other things? Why are we expanding?
I'll tell you why on that before you go on. Because the NBA had to do that as well. When you offer and invite new teams, that brings more money.
Yep, more revenue.
If you stay where you are and you don't grow, there's no money coming more on that. Now, you're growing, and you have that league where it is going up. We know this. We talk about it all the time, but expansion teams help out. It's the same as the NFL and the NBA.
You got to scale up.
You gotta go up, and you gotta put it in these cities that are NBA, NFL team ready.
That already established.
Shout out to the Gulf State,
and expect it to be what it is.
Yeah, let's put a WNBA team in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
But
Let's put them in Alabama. What?
But that's
out there.
That's why they're not profitable. That's why they're not profiting right now, because they are in that investment expansion phase, just like. Soccer was there for 10 years. NBA was there for like 30 years before they really took a profit, because you have to invest that money that you're making right back into the product and keep expanding and keep going. I mean, even your average small business don't make profit for the first 3 to 5 years.
But you also got to get people to come in there. You are not, if you can't get people in these seats.
No, but before that,
you can't do that.
Look, before that, Mozzie, you got 30 years, like what you just said, and that's where the NBA was when Magic and Bird and them was doing their thing, and then like I said, the Jordan. But we're at that spot right now where it's open for it. I believe right now is the time for them to get expansion teams. I understand fully what you and T are saying about that right there, and other teams not being covered. I don't think it's a thing of they're not getting promotion or anything like that. I see it as an artist point of view. If you're a rapper and nobody knows who you are, nobody comes to your show, you gonna go to the Madison Square Garden? Guess what? You just lost all of that money because nobody knows you and nobody's watching you.
So if we're talking about TV deals, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. If you can't fill the stands, why would I want to put that on TV?
It's a loss.
That's like me televising a Ja Rule concert right now. And ain't nobody in the stands.
But okay, so we're gonna go with that. If we're gonna go with that, we're gonna go with that.
Yeah, but I mean, my whole thing is. It's got to be a starting point from it. And hold on real quick, because we missed a lot of the people that's on there. Vic said,
but if we're gonna go with that,
hold on real quick. Vic said y'all have more views when I'm a part of the show. That is yet to be proven. That is yet to be proven. Vic Durant is on there, and I send him the link. So, Vic, wherever you are, come on here. I want you to understand this show is going to do what it's going to do regardless of if I'm here, T's here, if Black's here, if anybody that's on the show, you did not boost our ratings. And I will show you the stat sheet for that right there, because we're about stats, data, and statistics here.
Hate it or debate it.
You saw what I said. Not a fact, but okay. Then Marcel said salute. Marcel also said, Pete got the blazer. You know, I came all about business today. But he said, showing love, salute, hated debate. What up, Trap, Jeff, Petey, and friends? You already know what time it is. He said, nope.
What up, Murph?
They don't want that at any job. Ask Invista or Amazon if they'll go for that. He was saying that to you, Jeff.
I don't know on what point, but okay.
I'm not exactly sure, too. I waited too long.
I think he's talking about, paying people more. Like, as far as if you're at a job, right, and you have people that aren't producing as much, would you pay them the same amount of money as you would pay the people that are pushing out product?
Well, no, but see, there's two different business models, really, and then
money is money.
Hold on, let him get into it. Let him get into it, Trap. Let him get into it.
No, it's two different business models, really. Like Amazon is really, like they're like really a bottom feeder. If you really see how they work, they try to look for rural towns or wherever where they can feel they can keep a good rotation of people, whether they fire you or keep you or not. They try to keep that kind of environment. the NBA and sports, they're built off the talent. Without the talent, it's an empty building. It's not even a building. It's probably like just a patch of grass without the players. Like I get the executives do what they do and all, but regardless, it's really about the players. If you have bad talent, if you have unmarketable talent, you get
And that's
nothing.
what
That's
Murph
any
had.
job.
And look,
That's
that's
any
what
Nah.
job, though.
and look, that's
But
what
but
Murph
not but,
had.
not, but
That's
can,
what
can we
Murph.
really
That's
sit
what
here
No,
and say
That's what
Burger
Murph.
King,
That's what Murph
still
had to say
runs.
about it. That's what Murph had to say about it. He said you got to make up for what you lost.
but can we really sit here and say that there are any bad talent in the WNBA?
Yes.
It's
I
bad
mean,
talent in the NBA as well. So we
Yes.
can't go
I
off
mean,
of bad
okay,
talent. But
I
you
mean,
got to
okay,
think about
yeah.
it like this: on bad talent and on good talent, they're paid off of what it is. But the whole situation is the WNBA when what they're grossing. And remember what we said before, T. The stock is going up. And JLE3, you were on here. You wasn't on here with us, but you were in the comments when we were talking about that. And it wasn't the money thing we were talking about, but we knew this was coming because their stock is going up. So
Yeah,
if their stock is going up, the pay should as well.
Can
that's
I
true.
say
Here's what I'm
something?
saying about it. Go ahead, T. Go ahead, T.
Can I say something? And this is
Yeah.
just piggybacking off of what Mr. Iceman said earlier about when y'all was going back to the rappers and putting it in the butts and seeing put them on TV. If that's the case, you got the Minnesota Lynx and the Golden State Valkyries who have been doing awesome, amazing, and unexpected. So why not push those teams, show them to gain more instead of pushing. I
Because
done seen more fever games than I've seen of anybody else.
because what would that
Well,
do?
well, you know that's
Wait,
because of Kevin Clark.
wait a minute, JLA3.
Exactly.
What would
She
the-
has that
what would
it
the-
factor.
Wait a minute. What would that do money wise for the rest of the league that aren't getting those because they don't have the players that's going to invite those crowds, or they don't have the whatever it is that got those crowds there? We don't know that. We don't know
I don't
why.
know, but I'm saying if we're going off of showing,
who is
why
on
not
the go?
show them?
Who's on the Valkyries?
Leticia
Kevin
and me
Durant.
here, Kate Martin, the Aces
Kevin
coach.
Durant.
was-
Oh,
Now,
Burton.
now look,
Yeah, Burton.
who are the top players that the WNBA is talking about right now?
Collier,
Caitlin
Asia
Clark,
Wilson,
Angel
Caitlin
Reed,
Clark.
None of those.
Angel
Collier,
Look, listen.
Nina Stu.
None of those play for that Valkyries team.
Chelsea Plum.
The reason
Yeah.
the Valkyries is selling like that is because the women
They're in
in
Golden
Golden
State.
State and the off-gender people and men are watching.
I mean,
That's what's going on there. They're filling up seats.
I wasn't even going to say anything. I was going
No,
to
and
let it
I
go.
said that. I said
I mean,
that
I wasn't
because
gonna go there either, boy.
I have respect to the LGBTQ
The Skittle Corps. I call them the
community.
Skittle.
I have
I
respect
call
for
them
them,
the
but
Skittle
at the
Corps.
same
The letter
time,
people.
Not the Skittle Corps.
how can
You say.
this
letter people.
state have all of these sold out games, which is the most in WNBA, but the teams with the stars aren't doing it? That doesn't have to do with promotion. That has to do with personal choice.
I mean,
So if Angel
I
Reese
agree
was
with
the thing, they would sell out every game. I'm just saying.
I mean,
You gotta
Angel Reese
get
has
the
been
women
thing,
involved
but
first. It
we've been
starts there.
watching. We've been Angel Reese being the thing in Chicago Sky. I don't think she's the best player on that team, and all those missed layups and how she looks out there. I'm not gonna talk junk about her because when she was Bayou Barbie, that's my girl right there.
We don't want
sorry,
Shaq to come out now.
We could, but
I'm-
now
We don't need
but
Shaq to
now
come
we
out now.
can't.
Look,
But now
I'm
what
a
we
guy.
can't do about Angel though.
Look, I'm a guy. I want y'all to understand this. I watch the games with the beautifulest women on them. I'm sorry.
But her game has
my load to
improved.
bear, but that's no different than me only watching Lakers games. But the difference
But
is,
now we can't. But now we can't
the
say about
difference-
Angel.
hold on, J Lady. But the difference is, in the WNBA, I'm a minority because I'm one of the few people that watch it. In the NBA, I'm majority because I'm one of the main people that watch it, whether it's because of my favorite player or my favorite team. It's not about us as individuals, our opinions. It's about the people that aren't watching. Do you look at the NBA? You really have a lot of women watching it because they get to get turned up with their man. for playoff games
No,
or regular
let me tell
games
you why
or
women
whatever.
watch the NBA. Women watch
Okay.
the NBA because in the beginning they had them little itty bitty shorts and they was able to see certain things. Women watch the
They
NBA
even
just
watched
like
them when
the
they
reason-
had long baggy ones.
Well,
They
why you
watch
think
the
the men watch
That's
the NBA
irrelevant.
game?
That doesn't.
Have
That
you
doesn't
seen how
match.
short them girls' shorts are?
Look, that doesn't match. That doesn't match. You can't
No,
use that
you ain't let
because
me
when
finish.
Kobe and AI and them wore the baggy, and you
I
really
was gonna
couldn't
say
see
the
for
same
the
reason
sex
you
that
watch
sells.
Dejanay. The
I
same
watch
reason
them
you
because
watch
their faces,
Dejanay.
not because of their bodies. You don't see
You
a
watch them 'cause they're
WNBA
pretty.
body.
You
I watch
watch them because
WNBA because I play parlay.
you watch them because
Bro,
they're
what?
beautiful. The
But that's
you watch the
Did
that's
NBA
a.
because the
you
men
But
was
just
see,
say
hot.
that you can't see their bodies
but
in
that's
the
a
in the
that's
little bitty
a
ass shorts?
no. But that's a whole man's. That's a whole man's standpoint. A man won't talk to a woman if he thinks she's ugly. But if to
And a
her
woman
she's
won't talk to
attractive,
a man if
no,
she think he ain't
no,
cute.
a woman will
Stand
talk
on
to the
that liquor
ugliest.
floor.
Wait a minute, y'all
Stand on that
listen.
liquor floor.
Wait a minute, listen. A woman will talk to the ugliest man on the planet because he's got money,
Facts.
and it's got
Facts.
nothing to do with her.
Facts.
That's why
The
you
nigga
get
name is
the.
Seal.
Wait a minute. That's why you get the movie Pretty Woman. But where's the Handsome Man movie in return for that? You don't get it because women have hypergamy. You
No,
can
we got
have what
they
I
got
have.
Magic Mike.
Nah, listen. You can have what I have or better, or I won't date you. That's why women can be fine as Kelly Rowland, work at McDonald's, and marry a millionaire, but you can look like Precious
Wayne.
and you can graduate from Harvard, but you got nothing coming because men are visual. Women aren't visual. Women are hypergamous.
But old girl that play Precious, she has gotten fine now.
I wouldn't date her. I mean, she may have gotten better,
Yeah.
and this is no disrespect to her. I wouldn't date her.
That ain't my type.
Yeah, it's not my type. It's not my type.
I mean,
And
she's
this-
not my type,
against her.
I'm not going to summarily dismiss that the girl don't look good.
I mean, shit. If I done had a couple of tequilas now, I mean, yeah, she can get full like origami, but
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
I mean,
mercy.
that ain't like I'm just out here searching. No.
Hey, hold up.
Run like
Here's
a
a good
Jet 2 holiday.
point. Here's a good point right here. Here's a good point right here from the chat. Every woman was watching when AI was playing. No cap, and that is real.
Yep.
Every
real.
woman.
That's
Oh, he
That is real.
fine.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh,
real.
that's AI. That is the
Yep.
truth, man.
That
That
is
is
the
the
truth.
truth.
I see more women wearing NBA jerseys than WNBA jerseys. That's the
Right.
fact.
And see, I'm not gonna give any pushback on that, but I am gonna take this time while we gonna take this quick break real quick and give a shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to Planet Vapor for all your vaping needs. 12 different locations in the state of South Carolina. If you can't get with them, you can definitely go to www.planet.vapor. Hit them up. Also, shout out to Blind Fury at Fury Bro Studios. Last but definitely not least, shout out to Corey Rockbottom Davis and Columbia's first black-owned animation station. Shouts out to them. Our sponsors are out of the way. Let's get back into it, y'all. Let's get back into it. We having a great debate right here tonight, man. I'm loving this. There's no hate. Everybody's understood. All the points are getting across, and everybody needs to see this. Everybody needs to see this right here. What do y'all think? I'm gonna go around the room and I'm gonna ask everybody, but I'm gonna ask it once and go around the room. We can start from Miles or whoever wants to answer first. But what do y'all think that we can do to get the WNBA ratings better? What do y'all think it is that we can do? T, you the first lady, so I'm gonna come to you first.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta get the butts in the seats. We gotta get the housewives, the moms, the ones that ain't never really looked at it, to look at it. But
Hold
we
up,
gotta
real quick,
find.
T. Look at what Murph said.
9-inch rims.
You gotta be trolling.
Look, Ashlyn's coming. Ashlyn's coming. I think when she comes, he might do some things. I mean, we got good crop coming up. This draft class was an amazing draft class. Last year is getting better and mascot. Hey, Big Ellie been doing her thing. Don't get on the mascot now. Big Ellie been doing her thing now. We gotta find a way we got to find a way to get the butts in the seats, but we also got to find a way to capitalize on what there's enough creative minds in there we can find a way to make revenue. I don't know. I'm not quite sure where to start and how to start, other than keep the conversation going, because eventually, like I said, the right questions will be asked. But I think, like I said, the suggestion that was made, I honestly think that would be a great thing to do. At least maybe towards the end of the season, the end of the NBA season, and beginning of the WNBA season, kind of merge them. So kind of
Like
bring
I said,
that fan base on.
I think they should put them together and play during the basketball season. They got the WNBA playing basketball in a season that ain't even basketball season, man.
I mean, they do it with the we managed to get to have the NCAA women's and NCAA men's playing at the same time, and
right. And we
not
more
overlapping. So I think it can be done.
Didn't we watch together more WNCAA than men's this year?
Man,
but most of the time, college basketball always outranks because people love college
they're
sports.
hungry. They're hungry. Yep.
And now with the NIL, shit, I mean, so you gotta think about it. Caitlin, Reese, all of them made more money in college.
That's a major one. He said, "Bring back celebrity games, bring back Rocket."
And bring back Rocket. Yeah.
And
I
one
think
point that I was
good
going to
too.
say about it is, you remember how Dennis Rodman went to wrestling? A lot of the NBA players went to other sports and stuff to show face and bring that name to the league and stuff like that. I think that's pretty dope right there. But go ahead, Jeff. It's on you, man. What do you think they could do to make it better for the women right now? As
Pay
far
them
as
good.
advertising?
They gotta pay them good. You see what happened
But
is.
see, the girls are okay. Hold on. I'm gonna stop and go ahead and let you finish your take. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
So we gotta look at like this right here. Like part of we want to get more butts in the seat, right? But the only way you're gonna really get more butts in the seat is if when these women start being treated like celebrities and stars. And part of them being able to live that lifestyle and be in that lifestyle is you gotta pay them. If we knowing as people are being entertained that shoot man, as soon as this season off, most of them girls going over to China or Russia and just playing in the boo boo league just to get another check. It's not the same as knowing like after the game, Steph them in the club ball and doing. And I know the girls might not do the same thing, but you got to pay them so that they can become those people that you want to have as stars and be treated like stars and
So
having
they're not
crazy
getting star
fan
money?
base. I mean,
Like I said, I've worked hard as hell for my $65K a year, and I'm in the heat. They play an hour.
yeah, but they do a whole lot of other stuff before that hour. We know that.
I do a whole lot more for my 12.
I mean, but
And I'm
hey,
taking away from my family. They're saying
So-
they want to do this for their family, but you're getting paid six figures.
two different industries though, bro.
It is two
Money
different
is money.
industries. That's the
So-
truth.
so-
Money is money.
No,
Nah,
he's telling the truth when he say that. The industry is different. It is. But when you're in an industry that's not making money, they can't pay you what they don't have.
But they're making money.
Let's take it like this. We give all of them millions of dollars.
hmm
That next season after that, the WNBA is discontinued. They don't have the money to do anything
Bankrupt.
else because all
No.
of the money is gone. They don't
No.
have enough money to do
No.
it like that. Even
they
if they just took the best 10 players in the league and gave them $10 million to $20 million contracts, they short because they take losses every year. The
They
last
have-
time the NBA took a loss was what year?
I would say early 90s. If that,
Early-
it might have been before then.
No, it was early
probably
80s.
that lockout.
It was
Yeah,
early-
it was before that.
It was early
Like,
80s
yeah,
because
it's
even
like
when they
80s.
had the lockouts and everything in the 90s, the NBA still generated money. And I'm not saying that the WNBA is
With a
not
short season,
generating
too.
money. I'm just saying, how can they pay millions to players that in a league that's not making the money to give them that?
So this is how I think. So think about this. Right now, there isn't a WNBA player that's on TV anywhere saying, "Hey, well, my direct deposit did not come this week." So they're getting paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, the new deal from getting 60 million, they're now getting 200 million. So if they was able to pay everybody with 60 million and operate, then when you get 200 million, you can pay people a little more because you just got 3 times what you've been operating on.
And now I can understand totally what you
So
saying.
so
You
so
ain't
so
saying
so
pay
you
them
won't.
and max them out. You saying pay them more as the price goes up. I can
Right,
understand that
because
completely.
they're helping bring the value up. So when the value of it goes
Yeah,
up, they
yeah,
should get a piece of that too because
yeah.
they're
I
part
agree
of
with
that
you fully.
value.
I agree
Uh,
Like
with you
that,
fully
like
on that,
so
bro.
you gonna pay coaches more too, right?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
that
Okay.
comes with it.
yeah.
And you gonna and that money gonna drop fast as fuck.
But see, but this is
No, because
Because when you
but
they
talk,
get
no,
they
hold on.
they
This
they
is
made a
what he's
deal.
saying,
They
Trap.
made a
This is what
deal
he's
for
saying, Trap.
200 for 200 million a year for the next 10 years.
And it's
That's
up, and
guaranteed
it's gonna
money. They're
go up,
getting 200 million.
and it's gonna go up. It's gonna
I'm
go up.
pretty sure
So
there's some verbiage in there that
only
they
thing
didn't
he said,
disclose.
no, only thing he's
No,
saying,
that's the
Trap.
deal.
Only thing he's saying is if it went from 60 to 200, that's damn near tripled. So
And all that's guaranteed.
you can no look,
Yeah.
you can give them some more money on that. You know what I mean? And on the revenue side of it. Now on the ratings, which was my only argument and my only thing, because that's where a lot of this money comes from, they got to get those ratings up. So,
Yes. So
Jeff, I'm not mad at any of what
Okay.
you just said on that. I agree with that 100%.
think about
I
how the
fully
NBA got their
agree.
ratings up. They
Yeah,
started showing you Magic with the mink.
the NBA is fantastic.
That you know what I'm saying? They market outside. But when they imagine if they would have took them cameras outside and the plumbers was really pulling up at the stadium,
Right.
nobody
From
would have
the
kept watching.
look
You know what I'm
from the
saying?
job. Right.
Right. But it was the almost looking like pimps or whatever pulling up at the games. It was money being shown. It was these guys are superstars. They're not just normal basketball players. These people
Okay.
are superstars.
I can see where you
I,
coming
I,
from
I
with
want to
that.
be a fan of this. Now the little kids are sitting there, it's like, hey mom, I gotta go to a game.
That's
I'm
almost like the rap
I'm a
thing where
Valkyries
they see
fan.
the
I'm a
rappers.
I'm an Aces fan.
Right, that's
You know
almost
what I
like
mean?
the rap
Like
thing in our community where they see them with the chains, they want that. They see them with the guns and they want that. But I see where you coming from. Give them a little bit more money and they can be presented as superstars. But I understand that. I understand that 100%. I don't have any pushback on it. But with the money that they have and how they've been looking on that orange carpet, I don't think they too far from that. I really don't see it. And well, like you said, the money is going up, so they should be paid for that gap difference. This ain't the 60 no more. This is the 200. So
200.
give us a part of that $140 million that you ain't trying to give us for it, and you still getting money from the NBA to make sure things are still going. So
Right.
if you got that solidified, you got this 60 right here that's already accounted for. Go ahead and give them up. At least do 100 with them.
So
Or
are they gonna play more games?
Now and see,
I'm
that's another thing too. That's another thing too. So all right,
no,
hold
I
on,
mean
hold on. Before we go into it,
I like
go
it.
ahead and finish your take, Jeff. Finish your take, because we're not going to bounce around because we'll be in here all day. Go ahead, finish your take,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean that to me that was pretty much it. You gotta pay them. I mean, part of it is marketing, but that's what the WNBA should be doing with their share of the 200 million.
Hmm.
Is they got to continue to take them losses that aren't really losses because they're investing in the long term and they understand this. If you got the NBA and the people who've been around the NBA for years helping you get the game, they understand it's a slow burn process. You
Right.
you you've been doing it for some years now. I mean, it's been a while since Cheryl Swoops and all of them, but it's at the point now where it's really coming around that corner. You take your extra money, you invest in the business, you get a couple more teams together, you get more marketing, you get better uh, campaigns for different players to make them bigger than life. Use the different platforms that's out there for sports and get players to build your product, and then put money into your product. Because if them girls decide not to show up, then you really taking the real off. Because you can't just
Not
go and
really.
get no.
That's
That's what
true.
I'm saying.
That's
You
true.
can't
Not
get
really.
no you can't
Not
get
really.
a replacement for players that people are quote unquote now barely wanting to watch.
And
You can't do it like how you did in other sports and just try to throw out some. They ain't gonna go for it, and it's not a lot of money, but it is the money that they depend on to pay that money or come to their end of the agreements for deals they got out there for money.
And the only pushback I'd have to say on that, if they weren't there, that would be like if Bird, Magic, Jordan, all of them was like, man, forget this NBA little cheap money that they paying us. I'm gonna go somewhere else. Remember, it was the ABA and all of that first, but they came
Right.
together with it. They didn't quit. When you quit and walk away, that never solved anything. That
Right.
never put anybody into a place where everybody benefits. You got to stick with it. And
But a
I
protest.
understand fully what you're saying for protest. Yes, do that. But walking away, what is that doing for your fan base? These millions of women that's watching you, knowing what's going on, but also knowing that they're not supporting you. It's not the players. The players shouldn't take a step back. The players should encourage more people to watch it, I think.
I mean,
Walking away, I never think walking away is going to help them in this situation.
what I imagine they don't want to walk away, but if you play a game where after this agreement we can't get a piece of this revenue that we're generating for the next 10 years or so,
Then you gotta stand on business.
you got to stand on business.
Yeah, I'm with you on
Because
that.
you got to stand on it. It's not I'm quitting this. Hey, until I get right, I can't. I mean, I'm at the gym practice and doing whatever, but I ain't at the facility.
Right,
You
and,
know?
and the money is there. That's what I feel where you coming from 100%. The money is there. So where is the money going if it's not to us? I feel
Right.
you 100%.
Because
JLE
I-
three.
And
Stadium
that's the
maintenance.
question I don't think has
What you
been
got,
addressed.
Jay?
merchandising, restocking shelves,
Go ahead, JLE. What you got on it?
spending.
How can we
All
make
that.
it better for him? JLE, you there?
Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I'll leave it alone.
Man, go ahead and say it, man. You know we want the real out here, man. You ain't got to put
No.
no muffler on there, man.
No, but
T still love you.
it's actually it's not even actually a topic. It's just bullshit.
Oh, okay. Well, go
But
ahead.
no,
what you
but
think,
what-
what you think they should do to make it better, man? Go ahead, bro.
It's all of you are making great points about marketing, because at the end of the day, if you want to get more money, you got to put yourself out there. But also, like we've all said, the reason that the NBA is more profitable is because the NBA is more entertaining. Now, these women play their asses off. We will give them all the credit in the world.
Yes, I
They,
definitely will.
they play their asses off. But if you go to a basketball game, especially a professional basketball game, what is it that you want to see happen? You want to see somebody throw it off. You want to see somebody throw it off the rim and dunk it.
Yeah.
You want to see them shoot from half court. Now, Caitlin Clark, she can shoot from half court.
Mhm.
Now, this year she's been a little slow,
She been hurt too.
but and
You know,
she's
they got
been
Paige
hurt.
for that. You hear me? So they got
And-
Paige for that.
And they got Paige, and then let's not sleep on Sabrina.
Mm-hmm. They
But
got
I would
pieces to
think-
fill. Go ahead.
But I think, and I know the women don't want to do this because it might feel like it's a step back.
I
But-
know you about to say what I'm thinking. I know it. I know you about to
What
say
you
what I'm
gonna-
thinking.
What you think I'm gonna say?
Go ahead.
Lower
no,
to
go
go
ahead,
to 9 to 9.5 feet, and so
No,
there's some
that-
dunking going on.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Thank you, sir. See, I fuck with you.
Maybe they might want to consider lowering the size of the rim.
They brought that to the table.
So-
They said no.
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing, because, and I understand why they said no, because it feels like it's taking away the competition of the game. And while that's all well and good, we also have to be real. evolution says, or evolution states, that men are naturally bigger and stronger than women are. That means they can
Natural.
jump higher.
That's the natural order in the way that God
That
made us.
that means that men can jump higher and farther and do things stronger than women can do. That's not a knock. That's not a knock against the women. It's not a knock at all. But that's one of the main reasons why professional basketball is entertaining. Because you got dudes like Zion Williamson and Giannis Antetokounmpo and people like that who can jump out the building.
Out of the building, man. Like
So
That
now,
came from training too. Now,
I always use the point in that what you're saying. I could dunk at 5'2". You know how many people would show up at lunch to watch me just dunk the basketball? Man, Pete, he's shorter than me. Girls would say that. And could dunk?
yeah, but
Pete, did you
but it's the
practice?
thing.
Did you
It's the-
practice dunking?
Huh?
Did you practice dunking?
Man, no, did I practice it?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I did when we was out there on the courts playing against other people, and I didn't just necessarily go out there and just be like, "Oh, I can get up." I know I can get up there. My thing was in the game getting to a spot where I can get up there on somebody because that's even more entertaining than a wide open dunk.
Yeah, because and
Properly-
then look at the
properly
league,
trained.
and then look at the league at the size of these WNBA players. You got Brittany Griner. She's 6'9".
First of all,
Camila
we
Cardoso.
can't say that.
Let him cook, Trap. Let him cook. Hold up, Trap. Look. Let him cook now. Let him cook, man. Let him cook. You next.
Look,
Let him cook, man. Let him cook.
Look, Carmilla Cardoso. She's 6'7". You know, you got people like Azarae Stevens. She like 6'5", 6'6". Kalani Brown. She's 6'4", 6'5".
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not like these girls can't reach the rim if they wanted to. I mean, Dominique Malinga, who plays for the Seattle Storm, she has been known to dunk when she played in France.
Can I ask
On
you
a wide
question?
open, yes, they go up there and bang. Why
Can I
not?
ask you? Can I ask you a question about these dunkers and these women?
Yeah,
dunkers?
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Why aren't they advertising this to the women and the men that are watching them play? What are they saving the dunks for? Remember, I thought it was going to be Candace Parker. I thought it was going to be Lisa Leslie. I thought it was going to be Brittany Griner. None of them combined have more than 30 dunks.
No,
I think
they get theirs on
it's
breakaway.
because
And they can do it. And they can do it.
I think it's because that they don't want to be a copycat of the NBA.
If you want those,
But you want to copy their pay?
Yeah,
exactly.
you want and see, and that's what the
what you think doing
that's
it
what the
without
discrepancy
dunking.
is, and that's what the discrepancy is. You want the NBA pay, but you don't want to do what the NBA players do to get that pay.
You got a shorter season.
Yeah,
shorter.
what do they play? What do they only play? Like 42 games, 32, 42 games?
I thought it was like 60 something, so I was way off.
They play in less than half of an NBA season.
And
Yeah, I
was
think they
about to
play
say
like
that.
half.
They playing like 40 something. That's
Yeah,
really
they play-
just the
yeah, they
home
play- they
games
play-
of an NBA season.
Yeah,
So
they play.
what
I
do you-
think they play like 42 games a year, including the games in the playoffs, which they moved because they used to be one and done series. Now they're best of three for the quarterfinals, and then they're best of five for the semis and the finals.
So how much more can you pay a WNBA player that's only playing 40, 50? We'll just say this: 50 games max. We'll
Thank
just
you.
put it at that. How much more can you pay them versus an NBA player that plays 82 regular season games plus the 16 that they have to win in order
To win a
get
championship.
championship?
Yeah,
Plus
but see,
the
that's the
beginning,
thing.
plus the beginning of the season tournament thing.
Well, they did. But the WNBA did introduce the Commissioner's Cup, which they did,
Yeah.
and they did that before the NBA. And they did that before the NBA introduced the Emeritus Cup that they do during the end season.
Yeah.
So that was a way. Yeah, so that was a way to take it to add more games. But that's just the thing; they have to play more.
Right.
And
I think what you're saying is, or your whole take is, if they want more money, they got to play more games and they got to be more exciting.
They have to. They have to be more. They have.
And
They
like
have
what
to be
T
more
said,
exciting.
they have to fill more seats.
You
and
wanna-
that's
you
gonna
wanna
come
fill those
with being
seats?
more exciting.
You want to
Yeah,
feel those
they
seats?
have. They have to be. They have to be more exciting because even on breakaways, these girls would rather. And then we talk about the girls that are tall too. They would rather lay it up than dunk it.
Exactly. You drop it down
Girl,
like 0.5. You dunking every
girl,
time.
you,
Girls is
girl.
out here going crazy.
Girl, if you 6'4", 6'5", even if you 6 feet, but you can get it, but you got hops. If you get on a breakaway, throw that thing down when you get there.
Imagine what that would do for the game.
People are gonna be like,
When
"Oh,
they
they
see
dunking
that.
now. Let's watch this."
Oh, she just
But
dunked. You know
but see,
how
but see,
long that would be on ESPN that day. That would
yeah,
be breaking news, basically.
that
Exactly.
would be breaking
Look,
news
think about
on
it like this.
every sports channel.
But really, what is the breaking news for this All Star weekend?
Paige and
The
Trav,
stud bust,
Flood,
the
Travis
Paige and
stud
Kelsey,
bust.
Flood being in a
Paige
relationship.
Beckers and AZ
Yeah,
Flood
Paige Beckers and AZ
relationship
Flood
that
and AZ Flood are in a
overshadowed
relationship.
the whole All Star weekend.
Exactly.
And
But we
and
talking
I
about who
don't
makes
then
know
more
if
money.
you really
and,
watch the rest of it. 'Cause I'm sitting here watching the clips of All Star Weekend, and I didn't realize that them jokers had a bet with Caitlin Clark that every 4-point shot made, she was going to have to take a shot.
See, it was lit out there.
but see those things and see the thing about it is the WNBA All Star Game this year wasn't even all that good.
But
It was
the
not.
best. But wait a minute. It wasn't all that good to us as viewers that love and watch the game. But it was the best All-Star weekend since the beginning of the WNBA in 1996.
Yeah.
That is
Well,
statistically proven.
okay, and we'll take that. We'll take that. But what has
Yeah,
been our gripe? But what
yeah.
has
I
us
mean,
as
we can't
basketball
dispute it.
fans? But us as basketball fans, what has been our gripe about the NBA All Star Game?
They didn't play it.
A whole bunch of useless events.
It's the lack of competition.
Yeah.
It's
Like
like
just going out here and just doing whatever.
it's like the All Star Game now. Like they say, it's a glorified layup line. They just want to go out there and see who can shoot the furthest or who can dunk the prettiest. There's no
Now-
defense. There's no sense of pride in wanting to. Oh, I want to stop you. I'll be like there's really even no sense of, because now they don't do the East versus West format anymore. So there's no conference pride in it. Like there's
Nope. It's just, I'ma
us
pick
players in
him.
the East are better.
I'ma
Us
pick
players in
him.
the East are better than these players in the West. Like at least
Now it's,
before,
hey, let's get an Olympic team
everybody
going.
knew. Like everybody knew that Michael Jordan played in the East because he played on the Bulls. Kobe Bryant played in the West because he played on the Lakers. Which of
And
them
yep.
are the best? Which means which conference has the best shooting guard out of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, or Kobe Bryant
Exactly.
and Allen Iverson, or
Facts.
if we want to go point guards like Chris Paul or Steph Curry, or something like that. There's no sense of pride in these conferences anymore.
No. You
Because
don't know the last
before,
best All-Star game?
and I think that stopped when they stopped allowing the players to wear their team jerseys to All-Star week, to All-Star game. Like remember when we used to watch the All-Star game in the late 90s, where if Kobe Bryant playing in the All-Star game, he would have his Laker jersey on.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan would
I
have
also
his
liked
Bulls jersey
when
on.
they had the
Isaiah
West on
Thomas
the
would
chest.
have his Pistons jersey on.
I like it when they had the West and the East on their chest.
Yeah.
The last
don't even do
best
that
All-Star
anymore.
game.
Now it's Team LeBron versus Team Giannis. Like what?
Exactly. You
And
wearing
I understand they
wearing
want
another
to
man's name on your chest.
pick up style basketball. Like I understand what they want to do, this pick up style basketball thing, but can we go back to the East versus the West? Like, can we at least have a sense of pride for our conference?
Fact. Hey Pete, you want to know what the last best All-Star game was?
Which one?
When Kobe dunked on LeBron.
What was that, 2016? Well, no,
I
that might
wanna
be
say-
earlier than that.
Hold up, Trap. You broke up a little bit. What'd you say?
The last best All-Star game was when Kobe dunked on LeBron.
Was which one?
when Kobe dunked on LeBron.
Yeah, and remember, it was all because of that Mamba mentality. Y'all might see it as just an all-star game,
Bingo.
but he saw it as what an all-star game is. If it's all stars out here, I'm gonna show
I'm gonna be the
y'all
best
who
star.
I'm gonna be the
of
best all-star out there. I'm gonna be the best all-star out there.
Yes, and I can't put that on the women because of whatever it was and what they were doing and everything. And hold on, shout out to Darrell Cunningham. He said 45 games a season. You know, yep, and that is right. But on the All-Star thing with Kobe out there, that was the difference in him. And they tried to tarnish his legacy while he was alive. And while he's dead, it's so many people that's changing what they said and the GOAT talk and all of those things. I don't want to hear about that now. It's a whole ball of confusion because the LeBron James narrative, because I can run fast, I can jump high.
I've been in the
I'm the
league for
best.
years.
Look, I'm the best. But look, it took you 22 years to be statistically the best when personal stats don't matter in a team sport.
I mean, can we talk about
Look,
it?
hold up. You see how I
about it.
paused and put the point out there? Personal stats will never matter in a team sport.
Let's talk
Unless
about
this
it.
NBA turned into the one-on-one championships, and
Exactly.
he wouldn't win that because he was getting drugged one-on-one by Michael Beasley.
And Jason Terry.
You know what I mean? And this is no slight to those guys because they're ballers. Not Dilladova. What's his name that was on Dallas, the short point guard that gave him the business when they wrapped them up and packed them up?
JJ Barea. JJ Barea.
Yeah, JJ
Barrera.
Barrera. My
Yeah,
boy
Barrera.
Barrera. Did it to him.
With the short fade.
Remember when it
Yeah.
was Kobe, they picked at him. They got blown out by this much right here. But when LeBron and them lost, it was because
He needed
this
help.
right here. You had a better team
needed help.
all around. Look, you had a better all-around team. You were better athletically. Everybody knows Kobe wasn't the fastest. Kobe didn't have the most moves. Kobe was meticulous about his footwork. Kobe worked harder than everybody else, so when it came down to it, he did what we knew he would do. Same as Tim Duncan.
Mr. Fundamentals.
They picked at him for being straight fundamental with it. They picked at him for that. But when it mattered and the championships came, they want to erase those two out of the GOAT talk. But those two guys were the leaders of their team. But because Duncan played with Robinson, because Kobe played with Shaq, they want to negate those. But if you look at those numbers when they played with them,
They
were
don't lie.
statistically better.
And guess what? They never left.
Never left.
And Pete, Pete, I will say this too, because now even Michael Jordan was an athletic beast
That's right.
when he first came into the league. But as he got older, this is what a lot of NBA players now, they try to focus solely on their athletic abilities. But see, Father Time is gonna catch up with you no matter who you are.
Undefeated.
You ain't gonna be able to have a 40-inch vertical your whole career. So
That
in order,
48 to go down
also,
too. Easy.
and also this also extended Michael's career and Kobe's career when they found different ways to score instead of just going straight up at somebody. Because you notice Michael Jordan didn't develop that little crazy he did until the mid to late 90s.
Yep.
When he started getting older. So now he can't go jump from the free throw line anymore. I mean, he probably could, but it might cost him a couple of games if he did.
Right, and not even a couple of games, but it might cost him in the game that they need him to play. You went and jumped from the free throw line and exhausted all of that energy where you could have played the rest of the game from a layup and we would have won.
And also, the game now ain't as physical. I don't care what nobody
It's
says.
not.
They will.
It's
not. It's really not.
You look
It's
at
really not.
everybody be talking about plumbers this, plumbers that. They used to be tearing Michael Jordan ass up.
Right, and
They used to be clotheslining this man out the
this is where
air,
that
bro.
this is where that
Jordan
respect
was-
got to be due, Trap. This is where
There
that
wasn't no
respect
flopping.
got to be true. When have you ever met a weak plumber or an out of shape plumber? Now, the idea is the fat one, but it's way less fat plumbers with their butt crack showing than in shape plumbers that's laying the pipe, pause,
Facts.
and doing
Sorry.
what they gotta
That makes sense.
do
Oh.
out there to get these jobs done.
Mhm.
The idea of what a plumber is wrong. Remember, Elgin Baylor was also in the military.
Mhm.
And would
Half
come
these
from
mugs was coming
training
from
or
factory
whatever to
jobs
play.
and coming to hoop.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they got it wrong because these soft guys are looking at an era that they know nothing about and judging it because they weren't there.
Because I promise
A
you,
lot of these players now, let's be
LeBron,
real. A lot
LeBron
of these
back then
players
in the
now-
day, he would have been killed.
A lot of these players now couldn't hit. Let's be real. Let's take it back. Let's take it back to
So-
some real hoops. There's some real street hoops. A lot of these players now wouldn't be able to touch and hang with them boys in Rucker Park.
That's right. That's true. And remember, only the greats went to Rucker Park to prove
Hey,
themselves.
hello.
Kobe was
Hello.
out there.
Remember?
Hey, I
when
was out
A-
there.
when
KD
And1
was
when
out
And1
there.
Series, when And1 was playing around,
Oh.
the big Escalade. Come on now. As
Come
big
on,
as that
man.
boy was, he could move, and a lot of these jokers can't come with that.
Shoot,
For
Skip
real.
them. Skip them.
That
Lou
size,
is
that
what the
agility
only
in his
and one
mind.
player to ever play in the NBA.
Right. Right. And,
Yeah.
and people tried to negate what he was, but the man was a solid NBA player. He had a
He was.
career in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
He was.
He
And they
reached his
tried to
dreams
belittle
from-
him and try to keep him in that and one box. That man played on both levels. He showed you that he could do both.
He did it. He really did it. He put the exclamation point behind and won.
And then
Exactly.
shout out to the Harlem Globetrotters too. They wasn't just showboaters.
So them mugs, they will play
Them
in your
boys had
face.
skills.
Them mugs will play in your face.
Like Cam said, that's his favorite team. Undefeated.
Exactly.
Talk about how you play all you want to, but if this is the rules in the game that we playing, you know the rules and you play the same way, but you can't beat us at this. We're seasoned. We know what we're doing, and this is what it is. So, Trap, go ahead. Get yours in on how you think that we can make this WNBA better.
I'm sorry, my
I'm
take was
sorry
too
for all
long.
of the viewers. I'm sorry we went off on that like how we did, but yeah, we back on it. We back in it, man.
I mean,
Yeah,
It's-
and that's
it's-
my bad. My take was too long.
Oh
oh
man,
no,
no,
you
no,
good.
it wasn't you.
Hey,
It was
listen, we
us
all having
all-
fun.
Yeah, it was us all having a good time, man. It wasn't you at all, JLE. You already know, man.
I mean, it's like he said, they need to make the game more exciting. You know, you want more money, so you need to bring more people in the seats, and you need to, the way you bought out that shirt that says "Pay us what you owe us," you should have had other merch that says, "Hey, come to the game," or something like that. Like fill the seats. You know, you saying pay us what you owe us. Damn, you act like they ain't really giving you a platform to work with right now.
Bro, you
So-
just said everything in a nutshell when you said why not have those shirts that say fill them seats. That's the end of that conversation right there. Instead of that shirt that says pay us what you owe, which is disrespect to the league, the
fans.
teams that's doing it, and the fans that are watching it. Pay
And
us
paying
what
to
you-
come see you.
Put it what it really needs to be. Like you said, fill them seats. Get us out here. Go ahead, Trap. I'm sorry.
No, that's and that's real because like you fill the seats. Now you have that demand. You really pushing it. People coming to see you. You selling out arenas. You selling out merch. Food is going, and of course everybody got to think like when you have these contract deals, it's you got to meet these fulfillments because everybody think, oh man, unless it says guaranteed, you got to fulfill that contract says okay. Well, you got to at least have 2,000 assists. You got to have X amount of rebounds. Now, you don't think in Angel Reese's contract there's somewhere that she has to have X amount of rebounds? Yes, that's just like in football.
Look
It's
what your bro
like
said. Look what your bro said. Dallas in 17.
17
ain't
what?
mad. I don't know what the
1792?
17 is, but
Must be
I do
1792.
rock with Paige Beckers. Buckets is what I like to call it. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Trap.
and it's like you're threatening instead of saying, "Hey, look, we want our voice to be heard," but y'all threatening. It's
You're
like
threatening.
that's like me going into my office, my manager's office, and say, "Hey, you gonna give me a raise, or I'm out of here." They're gonna look at you like, "Okay,
Bye.
so if we're gonna give you a raise, okay, this is what we need to happen. We need you to play more games. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
need you to fill more seats. Okay, we need you to sell some
Mm-hmm.
more merch. Okay, we need you to put if you want us to put our money where our mouth is, we need you to do the same."
And that's
Okay,
what rich people won't do. They won't invest
exactly,
in something that's not in returning their investment.
exactly.
And this isn't us that's saying this. This isn't me. This isn't Maz. This isn't JLE the 3. This definitely isn't T saying that. This is what we know. It's like supply and demand. You got a crackhead that goes to the weed man. Hey man, why you ain't got no crack? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of all my weed and sell crack just to you.
Where's the profit in that?
I'm out of the game right now.
Amen.
I'm
Exactly.
sorry I had to use those terms, but I mean,
Bro,
supply
you,
and
you
is supply and
supply and
demand,
demand.
right?
If
But here's
you are the best on the court, or you're the best in your field, right?
Hmm.
Say let's say plumbers, right? You're the best plumber, right? They're gonna come to you. Show them why you're the best plumber. Okay? Let your work speak. Because if I'm gonna pay you more money and you missing 17 layups, why am I paying you $1 million?
And nobody wants to see you do that.
Hey,
You're wide
hey,
open and
now,
missing layups.
we're
can I
gonna put we're
can
gonna put some respect. We're gonna put some
I ask a
respect on
question?
Angel's name now.
Can I ask a question in
Hold on,
regards
we
to
wasn't even
that?
talking about Angel. It's
No,
plenty
it
of
wasn't.
WNBA players that miss wide open
Miss
layups.
Liz.
Yeah, it wasn't just her.
That
It
well,
wasn't
that's true.
just
Can
her.
I ask,
That's true.
can I ask a question in regards
Yeah,
to
go
that? And
ahead,
that
T.
makes sense.
Go
That
ahead,
does make
T.
sense. And I understand how you said well, it's not because it's just kind of a counterbalance. I understand how you said it can come off respectful, but what and you know what I'm saying, fill shirts that say fill the seats, that's true. But at the same time, I wonder though, and this is just like off like devil's advocate playing or whatever.
Hmm. Oh
I
yeah,
wonder if that statement at that point was because they kept feeling like they weren't being heard. And that statement will make you hear, so now you can go back and have a conversation. I'm just
but
saying, maybe that.
that
I think I
and
think
that's
that is
true.
all. I think that is all true, but at the
It's
same
not what you
time,
say; it's how you say it.
no, no,
That's true
no,
too.
no. That is true too. But I don't
I
think
tell my
that's
kids that
what
also
the
that's true too.
overall is. I think the overall is you're asking for money, more money in a league that's not making more. Now, to go off of what Jeff was saying, you went from 60 to 200, so we can make some things meet in that. And yes, so it means more money for them. But the money that they're looking for, they're comparing themselves to NBA players. Look at what Angel Reese is talking about, her versus LeBron. Now remember, they're also making money off of endorsements. Well, remember back in 2018 when NBA Live made their comeback and they made the first video game where it had women and men's on there. That was
Yep.
money that they got as well, but how many women supported NBA Live? NBA Live is irrelevant now because of NBA 2K, but NBA 2K took 3 years after that to put a woman on their game.
And
It's
there are
it's
way more women gamers now.
right, and
Yep.
they're put.
Yep.
It's like the fingers being pointed at the wrong people, instead of it being pointed at the women that's not watching it. They're pointing the finger at the executives, at the management, at the promotion. That's all there. It's all there. Remember, T, we can watch games all the time and we don't miss none. But
Fact.
who is missing them? The women.
Exactly.
And those are the people that were like how you said you had to take a step back today. Those are the ones I had to take a step back from because they were arguing me to death about women being mistreated, what they all done, and everything that I said was the men had to go through it. This was the league that was first. They had to go through it, and it was what year is this on the NBA? like 75, something like that.
70, what did I
Hell
say?
no.
What, 74, 77? 77 now?
What, the
I
NBA?
remember the NBA at
Yeah,
50, which was
yeah.
many years ago.
I thought we was
I mean,
at
they
least
just
100.
celebrated 75. They just celebrated 75 like 2-3 years ago.
So
Bro, I thought we was at about 100.
no, but
No.
I'm saying that to say
When did
this.
be? Oh no, we talking about
No,
Bill
no,
Russell. So,
listen,
I mean,
Trap.
what's the face?
I'm saying this
Okay.
to say the NBA hasn't got there yet. They're right now at their Magic and Bird moment with Caitlin Clark and the Angel Reese from when they came into the league. This
Yeah.
is along the course. This is on the trail of where it started and how it ended. It's going
You got
to
to, of
go
course.
up because it really is going up. Numerically, we can all see this. And shout out to Jeffrey for saying that. From 60 to 200, they should get that pay in it. But they're not asking for that kind of money. They're asking for NBA type pay. And you can't get that on what is 200 million from a billion? At $800 million shortfall. The NBA is 100 million. So you're not even on 1 billion. Well, I'm sorry, they're 100 billion. You're not even on 100 billion argument, which you're not even making. You're arguing against a league that's making 100 times more what you're making.
And if they
The money is
the
there.
revenue was there for the WNBA, like the men's, then yes, you have a valid argument.
You do, and look, this is my whole thing. I bring all of this to a close, and women outnumber men in the world. The problem isn't with the ratings. Well, yes, it is with the ratings. It isn't with where they're played. It isn't with their promotion. It's with them choosing not to watch. Men, what do? We love the sport of basketball. We're going to
Look at women's
watch.
soccer.
You know, exactly. And that was another point that I wanted to put on there because they said that. The women was arguing with that and they were making the money. They were filling arenas, stadiums.
And they was winning World Cups.
And that's where they were getting wrongfully paid for how they were doing it. And they ended up getting the same as the ML, or the Major League Men's Soccer League, $4 million. They're there now with them. They're there right now with them. But what did that come from? The ratings being there, the people being there, the front seats not being empty. The crowd is there. They're pushing this. This is not there yet.
Exactly.
Listen to me on that, yet, because it's coming for the WNBA. It's coming, and that was a part of their bargaining agreement that they did before the All-Star weekend, where they came to that, where they explained it to the women. We want to pay you more. We're not doing this because we want to be malicious towards you and make you feel like you're not worthy. We're not getting the asses in the seats. We can't give you what we're not making.
If we ain't selling product, we ain't making
now
no
let me
money.
ask you all this.
The whole thing,
So now
let me finish this. The whole thing boils down to this. As an employee, you will never be rich. As an employer, you will stay rich. This is the difference in Ice Cube and the Big Three, and with what they did with the WNBA and the 3-on-3 full court. And while they're trying to stop it, I'm with T. You shouldn't try to stop that because this is another way they can make their money. But giving up to submit to that is what? Saying you don't believe in the WNBA players, all of those numbers that's out there, versus you got a better option. Think about it like this. All of the players that's in the NBA know they can go to China and make extremely more money. Even look at Russell Westbrook right now, where he said, I'll play in the G League before I leave. I will play in the G League. Nobody's talking about that. Why? Because that moves the narrative of money for what is not there versus money that's there, but I'm not going to go over there to make more money. I'll still represent this league that took care of me my whole career.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Now, if that's your native country, yes, go play ball with them.
Yes. Yeah, look at what they do with Luka. Look at what they do with the Joker. They let them go do their thing. Because what happens outside of you doing that? At the end of the day, you're coming back to the NBA to play.
Yeah, because
I mean, that's what they did with some of the WNBA players. Like while the season was currently going on, like Camila Cardoso, who plays for the Sky, she left the Sky for a few games to go play for Brazil in the America Cup.
She's 3 times better than Angel Reese.
Um,
And that's just saying least and a little bit to just be respectful. Because she can ball.
She can.
ball.
She can.
She don't miss
I'm not-
layups like how Angel Reese misses layups.
Well,
That's
now,
my point
okay.
on that.
But you got to stay out of foul trouble.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we're gonna put respect on Angel's name.
Now I will listen. This is what I will say about Angel. She is a dog. She will fight. She got good footwork. But if she could make one and done shots, she would be so much better.
So much.
Fuck them rebounds. Fuck them offensive rebounds, bro. That means you missing too many shots.
Now I will say this because I am an Angel Reese fan, but what I am not is an Angel Reese stan. I know that she has her flaws.
Yeah, we don't take away from her greatness. She can be better.
like you said, all them missing layups that she be doing, and then getting an offensive rebound. You know that can be perceived as being a dog, but also at the same time, why do you have 4 offensive rebounds on one play?
Exactly, and you ended the game with 12.
And three of them came from off of your shots.
And look, this is why Dennis Rodman was known for rebounding and not scoring. He knew his lane and he stayed in it.
And he was a dog.
Everybody picked at him. You can't score. Remember in Detroit, Dennis Rodman was shooting threes, mid-range, and everything. But when he got older and knew what he could bring to the game, he didn't care about none of that other stuff. He cared about what he was best at, and nobody bested him yet on that. And
he didn't have to score. Also, he didn't have to score because I mean, you playing with Michael Jordan.
I want
one of the best pure scorers in basketball history.
Right.
Hold on, but before that, he was with Isaiah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
and them dirty boys.
And Joe Dumars and Vinny Johnson. You know, they call Vinny the microwave for a reason.
Yes, he will heat up quick. You better believe it. And had Joe
He was in Detroit, wasn't nothing to play with.
Now, I'm going to play this right here for y'all. I'm going to try to add this on here so we can see what's going on. I don't know how I'm going. Hold on, let me see. Because this was something that I thought that all of us should listen to together collectively. It's a lot of points that he made on here. Okay, I'm going to share my screen right now. And here we are. I'm going to go ahead and play this right now while we are all here together. And I'm going to play this for us, y'all.
Yep.
So during WNBA All-Star Weekend, WNBA players wore a shirt that said, "Pay us what you owe us." Pay us what you owe us. I'm going to be respectful today. Obviously, they want a bigger share of the revenue that they bring in to the WNBA because right now they only get 25% of the league's revenue when the NBA players get 50% of the league's revenue. Even though the NBA makes about $10 billion a year and the WNBA grosses about $200 million, but they also lose $40 to $50 million a year. So from an ownership standpoint, if you own a WNBA team, you've been putting into this league since 1996 and you have never turned a profit. When the league reaches the point that it's at now, why would you increase the revenue share if you're an owner? You want to make the money that you've been investing for years. And that's just a simple business standpoint. And like I've said before numerous of times, it's not a man's job to make sure that a women's sport makes the money that they feel like they should make. We already support the NFL. We already support the NBA. We already support whatever sport we like to support. It's on the females to get out here and make going to WNBA games a moment. It's on the females to buy WNBA jerseys. It's on the females to go there, buy popcorn, and increase the league's revenue. They are not about to make me feel guilty because they feel like they're not making the money that they deserve and they're in the negative, and the NBA is already donating to the WNBA, which is something that I did not know until a few months ago. So when it comes to this, I speak to it respectfully because these women have chosen this life to play the game of basketball professionally, and they feel like they don't make enough money. But my question is, if you're an owner, why would you increase the share that you give these players and you've been taking a loss since 1996?
Powerful word.
Facts.
Well, he unleashed on that one.
He don't miss.
Like
He
I said,
don't miss.
I'm not taking sides on this because we all have spoken, and we all talked about this. But my whole thing is, what do y'all feel about that right there? T, go ahead and crank it up first, T. He didn't speak any fiction on anything that he said.
No, like I said, I understand the financial. I guess, like I said, for me, I have to. I'm still, I got to learn how to take, because I hate the word donate. When if you're gonna be investing, take out the word donate and invest, because donating sounds like
I agree with that.
Well,
I
I'm
agree.
gonna tell both of y'all why y'all say that.
Donate means charity.
Look, donations have separated since social media, and people can show they donated. So that's irrelevant because of the simple fact that who donated from a woman's point to the NBA? We can't go off of that. They're giving them millions. Wait. They're giving them millions to help them out on what they're doing. This is not even what the women are doing by just watching, and not even going to the game, but just on TV. Women outnumber men in a heavy margin, but it's on everybody else to support the WNBA when only men. Women are the minority in supporting men's basketball. All of us watched this because we saw ourselves dunking. We saw ourselves making it to the NBA. We had those dreams, and it was a lot of women that told us, you ain't gonna make it. Our moms told us, no, you need to get a trade job because you ain't finna play no basketball. The floor is open.
Okay, I get where you're going as far as the. Let's use the word support, because, like, again, when you say donate, it's like charity, and that's
no. That's only people that say that and take that as charity is women. Donations. You think about what goodwill is. What is goodwill? What is goodwill? Men won't go to Goodwill to shop for clothes, but women will. But in that sense, they don't take it as charity. They take it as a good deal. They take it as a good deal.
I'll go check Goodwill in a minute.
But I'm just saying, but you're the minority in that right there. You know what I'm saying, Jelly?
It's a play on words. If your intended target is to get more women into the seats and whatnot, just with anybody else, with any other demographic group, whatever you doing, you have to have a persuasive argument, and you have to be able to target your audience. And sometimes
why do women don't have that? Why do women don't have that persuasive argument? Because the men have it. They're dunking. They're catching alley-oops. They're selling out seats. The women are saying nobody's supporting them, but the only people that's not supporting them is the women.
Exactly.
What Beyonce song said, who runs the world, but it's proven that they don't run anything but their mouths because they're not supporting the women.
You ain't let me finish what I was trying to say.
I'm going to, but I'm just interjecting. I'm going to let
but
you
I'm saying
finish.
at the same time, just like with anything else, women may not be visual, but they're analytical and emotional. So sometimes you have to, and I'm not going to sit there because I can be, and I am, and it's taking a lot for me not to pop off the way I normally pop off. So y'all better give me a hand. I've been good today.
I was trying to give you a hand, but I don't know why the soundboard is not working right now. You see, you saw I reached for it as soon as you said it. But I'm going to give you your props on that.
I've been good today.
You have. You really have been, but this is the difference in men and women, and I'm not going to get into the gender war.
But women see reality, things. It is. So you have to learn how to
give
talk.
The thoughts, when you give the thoughts and everything with women, everything touches like spaghetti. When you give these things to men, we can compartmentalize things like that because our feelings aren't involved. Because from day one, men are taught if you can't provide and protect, you're not a man. But what are those standards in women? They're totally separated since women have been liberated and got their freedom from under men. And the only freedom that they was really talking about was The Color Purple, which was a movie that really wasn't telling the story about women and men.
Yeah, like women couldn't have bank accounts until the late 1960s and 70s because
when they got those bank accounts, what did they do? Hide money from the men that were supporting them.
Some of them did, and some of them hid money from the jokers that was stupid and crazy. But I digress.
Who's the more romantic of the group when it's supposed to be the women? When, like I said, we haven't seen. Remember, you had the movie with Julia Roberts.
Pretty Woman,
where she got saved. Where is the Handsome Man movie? It will never be made because of the simple fact that men don't hold that as an argument. Men have been traditional from the beginning. We'll die for our women. We will support our women. We will do all of this. But where are the women in the traditional aspect of you're not virgins anymore? You got kids that's brought to the table.
From basketball.
No. Because this is where the standard is set on the market, and not just the market, but on men and women in general. Men still have to die. Men still have to support women to be chosen. Women do not have to be virgins to be selected by a man. That's not explained. That's not talked about. What is your take on that right there? Why do women get to be supported with 4 children? Listen
because I'm a different breed.
Let me finish. With 4 children,
a different breed of woman.
No. I'm saying yes, it is, and that's from their freedom that they fought for. But when you have 4 children, and a man has to take care of all of them. If a man has 1 child and has to take care of 4 children, where is the outcome going to come where he's getting a better deal? And all of the 4 children that he's supporting outside of his own, that's all money coming from his child's mouth. But that's not being celebrated or talked about. Even in a man being a stepdad, it's not even being celebrated like it was when it was really celebrated. And that's not men that's doing this. This is the women. And these are their choices. It's not the men saying, okay, we're going back to those rules and you have to go with us. They're choosing these losers.
Okay, I think I get the correlation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it took a minute, but I think I get the correlation. And again, I'm not sure how to really answer that particular question. And that's because I am a different breed of.
Right. You're in that minority of it because you're going to take care of your man. You're going to, it doesn't matter if you chose a woman. Right. And if you chose a man that made less and that's your choice, you're going to be there with him. You're going to ride or die with him because you know that.
We're going to ride to
That's the
so
minority.
I think I get what you're saying as far as where it looks at in basketball. Again, I think one of the concepts, like I said, you got to learn in some aspects. You have to. It's the persuasive argument. Learning you have to talk and kind of market a different way. But at the same time, you also have to be able to understand that as a woman, if you're going to support and going to do, we gotta be 10 toes in and stand. We gotta be 10 toes in and stand on it so that we can elevate the rest of the women who are trying to get there, so that the little girls coming behind can get there.
That is 100% the truth. But look at how many women that outnumber men that are backing what you're saying right now. This is why the WNBA isn't thriving, because women who outnumber men in the world that we live in aren't supporting the WNBA, except for they should be paid more. Why are you not watching?
I think I understand what
you should be paid for. Yeah,
and I'm not
like
sure
I said,
really
I'm with it. I'm watching more WNBA than NBA, and more WNCA than NCAA basketball.
Yeah.
But nobody's holding these women accountable. They're just going off of they want to be paid more, and I had to take that "you" off because it's not you. It's
I get it. It took me a minute to understand the correlation, because you kind of threw me with the whole the virgin thing. It took me a minute.
Right, and I can only break it down like that because women have to understand. If a woman's getting beat on, they're there. If a woman don't have equal rights, they're there. If a woman in the NBA is not getting paid, they're there, but they're only there in the sense of, I want to talk about why they're not getting it, but they don't want to watch.
You just want to be a part of the movement.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't want to invest in the movement. You just want to say I was there.
Exactly.
You want to be at the end. You want to be at the end results.
I figured it out. I got you. And unfortunately, I can't answer the question in a way that would make not necessarily that would make sense, but that would be understood in a way that
you will make the argument that will make sense as you're a woman that watches this.
Yeah,
and
because
my argument is to back you and support you, because more women should be like this in a sport that you're arguing you should get paid more. You think about the women at work, these women are going through it. So that's raise the wages. But in what we're talking about, they're not there to support them on the viewership. If all women watch one game a week, the NBA would be irrelevant as far as views, because the women would take over and they would mask all of this, and it's like they want to be argument.
Too many people want to be in front of the camera and not want to be behind the camera.
Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. That's what my mama say. Mom Duke, shout out to you if you're watching, but that's what she would always say: is too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
But now let's consider this.
Okay, let's go, bro.
Is it because now I understand what you and T are saying, and I agree that if we're going to put a bigger spotlight on this whole issue, then it's the women who need to support the WNBA.
I don't know a lot of men that don't watch basketball.
But now let's look at it like this. Mm-hmm. When it comes to sports, what gender naturally watches more sports?
The ones that play it, men.
Okay.
But when you bring when you bring forward the leagues for the women, because they didn't make these leagues because the men were complaining about it. They were making these leagues because the women, and that's what T was talking about at first. And they made the league, and the expectations, like she said, that they wouldn't make it. And I pushed back on that because I don't think they thought that they wouldn't make it. They was giving them a shot. When you have a shot, then that is your equal rights. What you do with your equal rights says everything. And that's where we go from the dunks, the alley-oops, the exciting parts of the NBA. You look at softball, it's the same thing as men and women's. You look at tennis, it's the same thing as men and women's. Look at soccer, it's the same thing, men and women's. But in the WNBA, you're missing that exciting element. And the reason I watch WNBA is because they play more of a team game. And I learned team game coaching from coaching with Trap. We bump heads all of the time. And when we stopped coaching together, we learned more about each other then than when we were coaching together. And that made us want to coach together more. But our
And that's
times and our
where
schedule is what made us not come back together on that. That was the only thing. Go ahead, Jay Lee.
now that is where the issue lies. Because if we put 100 people in a room, half men, half women, and we say, raise your hand if you watch sports, and you get 45 men to raise their hand and about 25 women to raise their hand, then that's more than a 20% difference
Right, and
of who
it's the
does
difference
and who
in,
doesn't.
isn't that the difference in minority and majority? That's what I was
So
saying. And in basketball, NBA, we're the majority because we watch, and in the WNBA, you look at us, we're the minority because we watch.
mhm.
I hate to interrupt y'all, fellas. I got to go be super mommy and finish dinner in deconstruction. But
Oh man,
it's
it's
been
all
real.
good. T, we loved having you
Yes,
on here.
sir.
All your points were valid, and we
It's been real
definitely love.
chopping it up.
I'm glad that you got to talk with us to let all of those people that were mansplaining things. They got to see exactly what it is, and if they don't, they will see it because I'm going to post all of these and the shorts from it so they can see exactly where we're coming from. We're not arguing with you. Remember, you didn't have no debate with any of us on anything that we were talking about. All we're
Nah.
talking about collectively together is the way that we can promote these things for the WNBA to make it better and climb like how they're doing. So I
I
appreciate
appreciate
you
y'all
being out
letting
here.
me relax and letting me kind of vent and whatnot. I'm just proud of myself. I managed to be objective today.
Man, I'm proud of you too, T. Because you definitely had the energy. You was ready to
Shout
blow
out.
them
Shout out
down
to
out
you.
here. Shout out to
So,
you on that, T.
but I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the Hater Debate crew, all the fans. Look, you may not like what we gotta say, but the link's always there. You can either love us, like us, or you can come and debate us and debate me if you think I don't know what I know. But
And it's
fellas, y'all,
always facts, data, and statistics.
That part.
oh, and Taylor wants to say goodbye, you guys.
Bye, Taylor.
Bye.
Hi, Taylor.
Bye, pretty woman.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
We'll talk to you soon, T.
All right.
Yeah. But guys, man, it's like we've been talking about, man. It's up there, and it's really what the industries are trying to do to make it that further gender war. Because guess what? I don't want to get on this show and talk the politics of black and white, but it's more black women in the WNBA that's leading it and doing their thing than any other race. But that's not to say Diana Taurasi didn't do what she didn't do. That's not to say that Stewie didn't do what she didn't do. But look at all of the other people that were overlooked for them to get that shine.
A lot.
And I hate to put that on this, and I don't want to ever bring race on the hater debate because that's something that can go in circles for hours. But what we're talking about is the money that's being there, and it's not there because the women aren't there. They're not doing their job.
Pete,
I
to your
guarantee you.
point, and Pete, to your point about not wanting to bring race into it. You never want to bring race into it.
It's the elephant in the room.
But the history of this country is based on race.
That's right.
So whether we want to avoid it or not,
It's in the room.
like I said, it's the elephant in the room.
It's in the room.
Because everything, even in sports, is around race. Magic versus Bird, Caitlyn
And I
versus
was just about to
Asuka.
say, and remember all of that, and even before Magic and Bird, remember what Bill Russell had to go through and Red Auerbach had to go through to get him on that team? The only black person to get drafted like that, and he drafted him because he wasn't just trying to draft white players, he was trying to draft the best so he
Exactly.
can get a legacy, so he can get a dynasty, so he can get wins. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter your color. You're
If you can
100%
play,
right.
you can play.
You can play, and that's where we went from that, and that was the what? Not the WNBA, that was the NBA. The WNBA is catching all of the back vapors that the NBA already caught. And they're catching it on a lighter version because this is way after the fact. And
Yeah.
the only thing that you're doing is trying to put it on somebody that is what women normally do. Don't
back in
take
the day, they used to cut
accountability.
fifteen.
Because of the
They
age
don't
and because of the age of social media, it's more
But
prevalent
see,
than it
even if
was
you
then.
and even if you take the social media out, women never take accountability. That's why they double men, almost triple men, but the WNBA is failing because of ratings. Not because of they're not doing it and they're going up. Because men are watching them like us. But the women aren't collectively watching them, man. That's not fair to put that out there like how it is being put out there.
I'll say
So
this though:
then,
if women were to promote going to WNBA games like they promote going out to pay for dinner
Cowboy
and
Carter.
and all this other bullshit, going to Beyonce concerts and all this other SZA, and if you would support the WNBA like you support this music, there wouldn't be an issue.
It will be
Because
way
I guarantee
closer.
you, how many men have done things that they didn't want to do because their women asked them to?
That's what we do. That's what we
Let's talk
do.
about it.
Exactly. So if you mean to tell me if my girl that I love so much comes to me and say, "Hey, baby, I really want to go to this WNBA game," you think I'm gonna look at her in her face and be like, "Fuck no,
Why not? Our
no, come on,
women
baby,
are
let's go. That's something different." Oh, you like
trap.
sports now? Okay, let's get into it.
Look, Trap, our women are valued counsel. Their
Yeah.
opinions and what they say matter to us. And especially in the black community, black men are more matriarchal than patriarchal. You go to any other race, Ahmed, Enrique, all of them other Mangli,
Ching.
all of them,
Yeah,
they
ching, ching.
lead from men being the leaders. And their economy, their society has thrived from it. You look at any society where the women are there first, outside of Amazonian, and that is only in movies with Wonder Woman, it doesn't exist. It
Because
does
in other
not
countries,
exist.
the men be like, "Shut up and get your ass in the room." What?
Yes, and America, we're in a country where you have that, and look at what it's doing between the men and the women. It's making these gender wars when the war is really on the women not respecting us as men. And I'm not saying this on any other race but black men, because you look at every other woman, grab her by the pussy, all of the women was in line with that, and they voted for him to be the president. There's nothing else that needs to be said outside of that. But you look at a black
They were
man,
offended, and then they had shirts.
but you look at a black man that's being honest, that's being there, that's doing all they can for their seeds in their community. We're the most disrespected. We're the most unheard. And all we want is our women to be natural and submissive. Our women be submissive on their job because they know that's where the money is going to be. But why won't you be with that with your man when you know he's taking care of you and he's putting his life on the line? That's why I didn't want to put it on the gender thing, because that's really facts. But I don't want women to hold that. I want them to hold each other accountable for not watching the WNBA. And all of these women that are great at what they're doing, I watch it. I pat my chest and I can say these things because I'm there. I know the stats. I know these women like you do, JLE. You know what I mean? Like you do, Maz. We know it. But these women that's arguing with us to the T aren't even watching games. They won't even watch a quarter. That's not fair. And in this argument, you're irrelevant because you don't have a dog in the fight. Go ahead, Maz.
If you want more money, start supporting them.
Yep.
Your